You are about to opt in to Monerotopia, a show for the Monero community where all are welcome to join. From noob to maxi, no matter what bags you hold. Just sit back and relax to the sweet sounds of Monero's latest progress. Or if you're feeling inspired, join us on stage. Remember, the only thing that can stop Monero is a false belief that it can be stopped. And if you want to win the revolution faster, we recommend you remove your XMR from all custodial exchanges immediately. Warning, voting accidents are common around here. Don't forget to properly secure your private keys. Monerotopia starts now.
All right.
Alrighty. Good morning.
Morning.
Cheerios.
Made it through another week.
Woo.
Cheers, Monero fam.
Cheerios. Good morning to everyone. How's everyone doing? Happy Saturday.
Beautiful Saturday.
It is a beautiful Saturday here.
You got to get outside.
Yes.
Except I'm still hobbling around.
Yeah. Tell everyone give us the ankle update.
I'd rather not. I stopped making progress. I'm moving backwards now.
Oh.
May have to get surgery.
Yeah.
Try to do it before Monerotopia wedding.
Yeah. I don't know how that's gonna go about, but maybe you'll have a speedy recovery.
I hope so.
I hope so. Be positive.
I'm positive. So, what do you want to talk about? What's this is small talk? Let's do some small talk.
I guess an update on our conference, right? Monerotopia.
Oh yeah, want to bring it up?
Yeah, I'll bring it up right now. We're very excited. We got a new sponsor, right?
Yes, we did.
We did. I'm trying to share my screen here, guys. Bear with me. But yeah, we're really excited. We have now Cake Wallet in the mix. So we have two now. We have Coin Cards and Cake Wallet. So we're really excited about that. Guys, if you haven't bought your tickets yet, please buy them now because the prices will be going up soon.
Yeah, we're getting anybody who buys a ticket. So you could pay in any crypto right now. Then it gets auto converted and sent off to us as Monero. So we've lost some dollars since starting this as of this morning with the price plummeting. But that's okay. Monero only, Monero always. But yeah, you can pay in any crypto, get sent off to us at Monero. We use now payments. I think we went over the speakers last time. We have a few more that we're talking to. And I expect, actually we have somebody, but I'm not ready to announce them yet. Right?
No, not yet. Until they confirm, we can't do that. But there are a few in the mix, and we're really excited about it.
The daytime is going to be legit. It's going to be Monero Con style is what we're hoping for. So some high level talks, obviously super Monero focused. Nighttime, nobody's reached out to try to be
maybe the people are waiting till last minute because like
a speaker for the nighttime sessions. We'll see how that goes. I'm sure we'll get one or two. We could always move more daytime speakers up there too. If you don't have a lot of people that want to come out, but I think
we will.
Still very early.
Yeah, it's still early. People are just last minute.
Yeah,
like probably a week before they'll be like, yeah, I guess I can go.
But it would be cool to see, have one or two after dark speakers that we don't know who they are and they're signed up and they reserve.
Maybe they're working on their talks and
For anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about, so we have the after dark speakers. So daytime speakers are curated. We select them. People have been reaching out to us for that as well. Actually, if you want to reach out to be a daytime speaker, you think you got the chops for it, you have some good Monero focus thing you want to talk about, please do reach out, especially if you're a developer or a researcher. We'll continue to put the word out more officially. And then we have the after dark speakers where it's basically anybody can sign up. You reserve yourself with Monero. I think we're asking for 2 Monero. And that's all. We don't really ask for any info, just your email. And we, just have some guidelines there that you come up and you talk about free speech money. But besides that, the floor is yours. And we're doing that because of the whole Chris Sky debacle. So
which we don't want to get into.
There's
that
no
if
way
you don't
to censor anybody during the After Dark section. So if you want to come be a speaker, by all means, please do.
It's pretty easy. Just book yourself. Just go to Monerotopia.com.
And yeah, excited to have Cake. And Cake reached out to us. We were obviously thrilled to have them as a sponsor. They had a tough week this week with one of their announcements. It hit us hard a little bit too, but the way Vic handled it and Cake handled it was, I thought, amazing.
Yeah.
So we'll get into that a little bit on the show, but basically I had Vic on this week. We released the episode a few days ago. I liked what he had to say. So we're happy to continue to be partners essentially with Cake. It's sponsored by Cake. We, as we've always said, I mean, they do amazing things for the community. We'll get into a little bit with what their plans are now with Zcash versus the multi-coin wallet versus the Monero only wallet, or you could watch the show I did with Vic.
Yeah.
But that's basically it. They're looking to build three wallets now. So there was.
I think it calmed down the community because obviously they went kind of haywire.
Yeah, with putting Zcash into the Cake wallet, pissed a lot of Monero maxis off.
Just a bit.
I'm a Monero maxi.
Yes, so you're excited about the.
So I love the fact that now it's evolved into there being a separate wallet for Monero that's going to be focused on. And Vic has said he's Monero first. He always has been. He still is. And they're going to make that their priority is building out the separate Monero wallet, which is, I think, good news. Definitely
good news.
And excited to see that they're working with other projects, and they're doing it in a way that I don't think is diluting the Monero project. And at the end of the day, guys, it's a free market. We get into this with Vic. I recommend you watching that, but Cake is free to do whatever they want. We're happy to promote them as something we use because we truly do use it. And there was concern there with Zcash being involved, but I like the end result here, and I am excited more than ever to use something that's just purely Monero. So I can't wait till that releases, and that's going to be in the next few months.
Yeah. So which is nice. So we're excited about that. So cheers.
Have your Monero only wallet coming soon.
Yep. So yeah. So thank you, Cake Wallet, and thank you, Coin Cards, for sponsoring the conference.
Thank you.
Again, if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, go get them now because the prices will be going up shortly.
We will be leaving early adopter or early bird, whatever you want to call it. We call it early adopter. Early adopter phase. We'll be leaving that soon. I don't know when, but soon.
Soon. Stay tuned.
And then it goes up to what? $99 or something? Right?
Yes, $99.
Yeah, right now it's only $59.
Yeah, $59. So go get your tickets today, my friends. Yeah. And I guess you want to talk about our social media. Like we put that social media post last week and we got a lot of love.
Yes.
A lot of love. So
a lot of people reached out to help out.
So we were really excited about that. Yeah. So
we split it up into a bunch of different tasks, and then we're basically paying people based on task completion. We'll see how that works out. I think we came up with a pretty good game plan.
We did. And the people are awesome, and we're looking forward to working with them. So, yay!
Which leads into our guest, I'd say.
Right? Yes. But I guess before that, let's do the price report quickly. Usually do that first.
Let's do the price report.
Let's do the price report. Oh, I'm still
Mike, we're going to leave you hanging there for a minute.
For just one more second. Just The Monerotopia Price Report segment is sponsored by Local Monero. Avoid using KYC exchanges. Buy and sell Monero directly for fiat, peer-to-peer. Woohoo! So now we have aFungible. How's it going?
Hi, guys. All good. Good morning.
Good morning.
Again, sipping a new coffee with the same Monero.
Yes. Awesome. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure. All right. So let me get started for today. So this is the third price report that we have. Can you see my screen? I've already shared.
Yes,
Okay,
now
great.
I just shared it.
Great.
Yep.
So, where were we last time? So, just to begin with, just to talk a little bit about market sentiment, because everybody's seen what happened. There was a whitewash in the markets since yesterday. Everything fell down by 20%. And we could kind of see it coming because all the levels of the main currencies were being breached. Now we also had some new developments around the world, which was like, one was Evergrande, which was they have a 300 billion debt, and they were unable to make like one of the payments yesterday, I believe, and there was like this tussle between the Chinese government and them. So that's also one thing just to keep in the back of the mind. And the stock market also is in a kind of a correction, and it's testing its support levels, the S&P 500. Yeah, so those were the things. So let me just take us to let me just start with something called the greed and fear index that we have in crypto. Usually check this one. So as we see right now, there was a lot of greed in the markets last week, with really high, this estimate from 0 to 100, and now people are in extreme fear, thinking that bear market is going to.
Oh, you're breaking up. Hello? Hello.
But this is.
You're breaking up, aFungible.
Fungible, we're losing you.
We're losing you.
Should I connect back or something?
No,
I think you're fine
better now.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened there.
Oh, okay. I don't know what happened.
Keep going.
I think I have to share again. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. I can jump you on. Okay.
All right. So, So as far as the greed and fear is concerned, we are actually in the lower bounds you see here. We are in the index of 25, which is basically, we're in extreme fear of sorts, or not really there, but we're getting there. And usually what happens in the cycle is it's always bounces between something like 10 and 90. 90 being the extreme where there is euphoria, and 10 means it's so we're getting there. So it might be a good time to accumulate per se. So also the S&P 500 is testing the low levels, which is like the support is around, I think, 4,200 if I'm not mistaken. So if we get there, we either bounce back, and we should not break that. And also, I think I have something more to share on this. I think there is also something called the funding levels. A lot of people are going long on the market. So there's something called positive funding level in derivatives. That is to say, a lot of traders have taken long positions on their Bitcoin positions, or the crypto positions, and the funding rate was actually quite positive. That means traders are paying a premium to keep it open. So there was a sense of euphoria, but yes, after yesterday's correction of around 20%, that part has been reset. So that's in a way a good news. So let's just jump back on the charts. This is the Bollinger Band, as you can see from the charts, and we are actually testing the lower levels over here, which is actually an indication that we should bounce back a little bit. And this is also the RSI indicator is being on the oversold level, so we should kind of see a bounce back. This is also seen, this I drew, if you remember last time that I had mentioned let me go to the weekly chart. We were around, this is the Bitcoin chart. I think I need the Monero chart, so this is fine. Yes, so we were at the levels of around 180, which was the next level of support after breaking around the 220 price levels that we had, which was a good support. So this has been broken, and of course the next level of support would be somewhere around 120, but we don't want to get there, of course. Let me check. It's around 120, but we don't want to get there, of course, because we're already in the oversold territory. So it all plays out how Bitcoin plays out in the coming time. So I have another interesting chart that I just want to share on a daily time frame. We have something called I don't know, the screen is a bit slow for some reason. Is it smooth for you guys just to see?
Yeah, it works.
Oh, good. So we have something called the 200-day moving average, which is like what is the price, what's the average of the price in the last 200 days. So this moving average either goes up with price or comes down with price. So let's say if we are consolidating at a particular range, this will kind of stabilize. If you're going up, this will slowly move up because it's 200-day moving average. We have something called the 21 exponential moving average. And we have something called the 50 simple moving average. So the thing is, the interesting thing about this, if you see historically, whenever the 21-day moving average goes below the 50-day moving average, we enter sort of into a bear market territory. And when we actually break this, so when the orange line breaks above the green trend, which is 50-day moving average, we go back into a bullish territory. So now you see there was a break. Now, what does this mean for us? It means that we might see some red days going forward or consolidation. But this can be prevented if we are able to find back the previous support of 220 plus on the side of Monero or in this side of Bitcoin. I think we should get back above around. It was around 52,000 where I saw that 50 to 53,000. We have like I think it should be on the weekly close. Let me check. It's on the weekly close. We should get back above something like 51,000 levels by next week. We should close that. But if we break below this level, that is, we are not really climbing up like how we fell down. So if we don't go back up this way in the coming 1 to 2 weeks, I think it's not a very pretty news. And one of the big supports that we have to really maintain on the Bitcoin side is around 41,000 levels. Because if we are able to go below this, guys, I think it's not a very good news. That means we have a longer time consolidation below these levels. So as long as we stay above this and go back up within a couple of weeks, we are good to go as we continue the bull market trend.
What do you think of Bitcoin versus Monero?
Oh, I've not really seen that chart. Let me open that. Nobody liked Binance, right? But let us see it for the charts. Let's see the weekly chart. Well, yes, it's in the oversold territory as of now. So we should expect some sort of bounce back on these levels, because last time I already mentioned that it's in a oversold territory for the Bitcoin Monero, and since it's just been a week, it's hard to say. And also you would see that it's on the lower side of the Bollinger Bands, so that means technically there should come a time where we are on the higher side. So that means we are right now around 0.003 levels, and we have a indication of it going higher, and I don't know where it will go, but we are at a, let's say, a low risk high reward kind of scenario. But again, a lot of things is at play right now. It can also be oversold. It can also go down a little bit, so that means really oversold. So what else on this one? So yeah, this is what I could say on this part.
All right.
Awesome.
Not the best day, right? But
well, yeah, with Monero, we sometimes really have really good days, and that time we don't complain. But we have to go through these seasons. But anyways, on the fundamental side, we have good news. So we have the network fundamentals, and actually, I saw this amazing, photo from Untraceable. So credit to him. This is like you can't kill an idea, and that is Monero. And if we go back to, I just saw from his Twitter account, he had posted about the November record high for the transactions. So if you see from the January to November, we are really doing very well. We had 600,000. Now we have 900,000 transactions. Of course, some of them can be, attacks on the network, etc. But whatever you can think of, it's always, it's going up. So as compared to Bitcoin transactions, we have already 11% of Bitcoin transactions. And of course, the protocol is improving. And it's almost 1 million transactions per month. I think that is something to celebrate.
Yeah, definitely. That's what matters there.
Nice. So that's what I have from the price report. And one update, I think last time I spoke about banning from India, because there are 100 million traders already in cryptocurrency, and it should not be banned. So the good news is that it's not going to be banned. Cryptocurrency is going to be regulated in India. However, there is a catch that there is like a discussion going on if the government wants people to withdraw from the exchanges. That is to say, if they want to make it like how PayPal has made cryptocurrencies, people can deposit into it, can trade into it, but they cannot withdraw like in US. So that is like a discussion. But from what I hear from sources, it's not going to be banned. It's being regulated. So that's what we have.
All right. aFungible, thank you so much,
man.
For
jumping
thank
on
you.
again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We should say again, so that's sponsored by Local Monero, our price report. Want to throw up the Local Monero website? Can you throw it up?
Sure. Yeah.
So it looks like Monero on Local Monero right now, as far as I could see, buy Monero in the United States around $205. But if you're looking to buy with cash, you're looking higher in like the ranges
84.
from 215 all the way up to 250 is what I'm seeing here for United States. So that's obviously, if you're going to buy Monero, that's probably the best way to do it for cash using Local Monero. Obviously, if you can mine it, that's great too. But price report sponsored by Local Monero. It is an amazing way to acquire or sell Monero peer-to-peer, which is the way to do it, guys.
Awesome.
Should we bring up our guest?
Sure. Let's.
aFungible, please stay around if you're still there. You could jump in for conversation later.
The Monerotopia guest segment is sponsored by Cake Wallet. Store, send, receive, and exchange your Monero and Bitcoin safely on iOS and Android too. Cake Wallet is open source, and you always control your own keys.
All right, Mike.
Hello, Mike.
What's going on, guys? Can you hear me all right?
Yep, we can hear you.
Awesome. How's it going?
Good, man. Good. Just enjoying this low price day. You never know where you're going to wake up.
Yeah, I was pretty shocked to see that last night. Yeah, I saw it just crash. I was like, oh, I wonder what's going on.
The entire market is down. What are you going to do?
Yeah, it doesn't change nothing.
Doesn't change anything here. Like we saw, transaction counts are up. That's all that matters. How you doing, man? Thanks for coming on. I know.
Yeah.
We reached out. You were one of the people that reached out to potentially help with the show, with social media.
Yeah, definitely. I've been trying to come on for a while, so thanks for having me. But
feedback.
I'm sorry.
You're getting a little feedback.
How's that?
Yeah, a little fuzz.
Yeah, you get a little fuzz for some reason.
You were good.
Give me 1 minute. I'm gonna join right back.
I think you're good now. Okay.
Yeah, you're moving something.
Good now?
Yeah. I think you're
okay.
good now. I think moving that.
All right. Yeah, so I wanted to join, man. I mean, that's a sweet gig, I see why you guys got a lot of people reaching out. Who wouldn't want to do that,
Yeah, I think there's something loose on
your
your
thing. I think it's, wanna.
Yeah,
all right, give me 1 second.
We don't want to.
Yeah. Let's even sign on.
Yeah, let's fix that up.
Let's fix that up so it doesn't annoy the people that listen. Yeah, the people that listen to the podcast just know that you can watch the video, and I have the links in the descriptions for like when obviously like the price report and the people are watching it. Obviously, people listening to it aren't seeing the screen. So just making people aware.
Not as good for the listening
Yeah,
audience.
but just for those that just listen to the
But
podcast.
the summary of the price report is everything's down, guys. It's all red. It's all red.
Ah! Pretty funny.
Coming back. Here we go.
Coming back. Oh wait, but it says his device is not connected. Okay.
Well, we've met Mike before, but let's wait for him to
Hold
get.
on. There you go. I think. Hello.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
We can hear you.
All right, perfect. Yeah, sorry, I was trying to use my phone, and my phone uses Tor, so I think the connection is not good there. So I don't have a webcam on my computer. That's why I was trying to use it.
Okay. No worries.
No worries, man.
People saw you.
Yeah, right.
So we met you in Miami last year.
Yeah, that was a good time, man. Can't wait to go back this time.
Yeah, so you're coming down, right? Monerotopia?
100%. Yeah, dude, I love Miami. I would go down just to hang out.
Awesome, man. Yeah. So I know we were talking, maybe you could help us run the Monero booth there. We're thinking of just having, maybe you and 2 other people there that can answer anybody's questions with regards to how to get started with Monero, things like that.
Yeah, I think that'd be awesome. There's a lot of technical stuff that's hard to explain over, text chats and stuff. And sometimes those guides aren't always clear. So it's good to have a, in-face.
Definitely. I think it's fair to say, so you specialize kind of in mining, right? That's where you're.
Yeah. So I got into cryptocurrency before Monero a long time ago, just because of the mining aspect of it. It was interesting, just to use a computer and make money with it, right? It's just running. And then eventually I found that cryptocurrency was public, basically. And I thought that was kind of goes against the whole thing. Found Monero and then started mining Monero a long time ago. That's kind of how I fell in love with it.
Awesome, man. Yeah, we just saw today, not today, but this week was like the 2-year anniversary of RandomX.
Yeah, that was a great feat right there.
Yeah, so what do you think about that, man? What's your perspective on Monero with regards to mining, as seeing that you are?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's groundbreaking. Yeah, I think that they're moving in the right direction. To wean off ASICs like that was a genius move. Everyone said that it couldn't be done. And then Howard obviously came out with his brilliantness and implemented RandomX when people said he couldn't. And it's been doing well, 2 years strong. Wish it was a little bit more profitable, but it is what it is. The fact that any CPU can mine Monero is amazing.
Well, that profitability is also because of the price of Monero as well, right?
Yeah, but as more and more miners jump on there, the less yield you'll get, and then obviously the curve is declining. So I think when RandomX was first implemented, I think it was like 1.8 Monero per block. I think we're under 1 now.
Mm-hmm.
So
catch them while you can.
Mm-hmm.
What do you use to mine?
Hardware wise or pool? I
guess both.
Yeah. Hardware. I got tons of different hardware running. I have a Ryzen 3700, a 3900, a 3950. I have a couple old POS laptops that I have just running Monero because it's a little bit better return for the shitty laptops. And then I have a couple GPUs running. Those mine Ethereum, and I also bounce back and forth to other ones. But I usually auto-convert that into Monero anyways. I'm not a fan of Ethereum. So I got a lot of stuff running. It kind of just heats my house too.
And then, so how you choosing like what to use? I mean, obviously, I guess some of this is just things you had lying around, old equipment. But then also, I assume you're going out and buying equipment.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a cost analysis thing, right? There are better CPUs to mine with in terms of hash rate, but the cost of those CPUs outweigh the potential return. So there's a CPU called a Threadripper that gets really good hash, but you have to get a special motherboard for that. That motherboard costs a lot. So if you cost analysis it, the Ryzen 3900 and 3950 and 5900 and 5950 are the best ROIs, in my opinion, for Monero.
Awesome. So like a guy like me, because we're thinking we want to get a new PC anyway. Something that we could use for video editing, and like really not much beyond that, and then we want to mine Monero with it, what would be a good recommendation there?
Yeah, so definitely a Ryzen 5900 or 5950X. It's multi-purpose, like I use mine to game, and I'm talking to you guys on it right now. And then when I'm not using it or at night, it's mining,
So should we try to build our own? I mean, we're not really those types, or is it like, like out of the box?
I can always get you guys one or send you something or show you which one to build over or buy over there.
Okay. Now, do you build computers for people and sell them, or?
I do, yeah. It got kind of hard because the GPU market got really smashed this past year and a half because of Ethereum and obviously the bull market we went through. So this part supply was very hard to get, but I do when people want them. It's a lot easier to build a Monero focused miner than it is to build a gaming computer right now, though, due to that part shortage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe if you're down, maybe I'll take you up on that. We can talk offline.
Yeah, definitely. I'll definitely
be down
point you in the right direction.
Or Monero? Would you be down to?
Oh yeah.
All right.
No question.
Yeah, just send us the perfect Monero mining computer.
Yeah, and it'll be perfect for rendering videos, editing, all that stuff. So
that would be really
multi-purpose.
Awesome. Yeah, it's about time we
upgraded. I mean, we're slow. We've been slowly upgrading our studio.
Oh, our technology.
The studio looks great. Yeah, I like the mics you got.
We perfected that. The audio had issues in the beginning. Now I think we've gotten better. We're improving.
Oh, it's a trial and error game.
Baby steps.
Baby steps.
And then in terms of pool, so do you use P2 pool?
So I do not, only because it's kind of like still new, right? There's a lot of, it's just like a new tech. I use Crypto Note Social. I don't know if you guys ever seen them on Twitter. I was using their Monero and Monero pool, but obviously the Monero got shut down. And they're great. They're a small little pool, pretty active in the community, and their payouts very low compared to other bigger pools. So I don't have like an issue with payouts. I know like that's one of the benefits of P2P, but it's just I just have not had time to really jump into it yet, and I know it's still pretty new.
Okay, definitely. Yeah, right. That's kind of the goal, I guess, to move as many people as we can over to that, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out. It seems extremely interesting, but I don't fully grasp it yet. I just haven't had time to look into it. I know there's like a side chain that it sort of uses, and that's when I was like, I'll get to it later.
Okay, yeah,
it's a lot easier to jump from pool to pool like originally. So
right. Yeah, my understanding that's getting easier to do. I guess we'll learn about it when we start to mine with our. With our new mining hardware.
Adding to our plate.
I've always wanted to, just never have, and now's the right time.
Is it?
Plus
once you get it set up, it's pretty easy too. It's just click and let go.
Plus it's winter over here in New York. We can use this.
Yeah, a little bit. yeah. That's how he always justifies.
It's a good way.
Yeah. Pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, you want to move on to the news segment?
Yeah, let's run through the
chat.
Mike, is there anything else you want to bring up before we do the news?
No, you could let the news run.
Okay, let's do it.
News segment. Woohoo. All right. And now for our weekly news segment. I still laugh every time.
You got to add more segments. I want to quickly just bring up links.
I mean, it's a little difficult because it like lags a little, but let's do it. Let's this one. Yep, we're here. This is the first one.
Oh, okay. So yeah, the first two links, you can bring up the second link as well, was just actually about RandomX. It's a 2-year anniversary of Monero running on RandomX for its proof of work. But if you bring up the links. So Howard tweeted it out. He's go ahead and scroll down there. He likes the way Monero's looking right now in terms of its mining network. It looks like RandomX is working. It's been going strong for 2 years. He posted a nice little chart where you could see the Monero mining network just climbing nicely in hash rate continuously for 2 years. So that's nice to see. Thank you again, Howard. And that other article, if you want to link, is also related to it. That first one that you had posted there. Somebody was just talking about the hash rate for different cryptos. And it was in an article unrelated, not necessarily about random X, but they're listing the different hash rates for different cryptos and the effect that was on them when China banned mining. And it's interesting. Scroll down if you want to, and you could see that Monero's didn't drop. In fact, it went up. This is during the banning of mining in China.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, so it was interesting to see all the other cryptos dropped and Monero went up. Let's go down to the next thing. Up there it is. No, whatever. Go.
Okay.
I thought this was interesting. Oh, the first atomic swap between Bitcoin and Ethereum. So we had Elizabeth on here when she came out of nowhere that she was working on Ethereum to Bitcoin atomic swaps, but we've actually already seen one happen, which is pretty impressive. So they're moving fast with that. That's nice to see. She's also going to be a speaker at Monerotopia, which is awesome.
Nice.
Right, all good things to see, right, Mike?
Yeah. Did she talk about the fees of this atomic swap?
Well, it's just the fees of the network. Yeah,
it's pretty high. That's what sucks about Ethereum.
Yeah, so that's the only thing holding back usage, but
has the text there though.
Hasn't really stopped people from using Ethereum. Obviously, it has in ways, but geez, Ethereum's rocking and rolling right now.
Yeah.
What else we got? Oh, that's another. Yeah, next one. Ethereum acts as hedge in Bitcoin price crash. I thought that was interesting to see. So, Ethereum reached a new 3-year high in ETH versus BTC.
Wow.
So I've been kind of wondering what's going to happen. If Ethereum were to pass Bitcoin in market cap, how that's going to affect the wider market. How people's perception might change of Bitcoin as being, the digital gold and the crypto reserve. But it's interesting to see that Ethereum is bumping up, going up against Bitcoin. As Bitcoin fell back, Ethereum didn't fall as much. So they kind of moved to Ethereum a little bit as a safe haven. So what do you think about that, Mike? Any opinions there?
Yeah, that's interesting to see. I think it could potentially happen because Bitcoin, it doesn't really have a use case besides being the first one, right? And I just think Ethereum needs to get that fee issue solved, and we could see it go higher. It has way more utility. A lot of people are building on it.
Exactly. So I think that's interesting. Looks like we're kind of entering a crossroads there, transitional period. We'll see. There's always been talk of the flippening, but It's interesting to see what would happen if that actually did happen, how Bitcoiners would react. What do they then say, right? So if something like Ethereum overtakes Bitcoin in market cap and kind of starts acting as the safe haven or the store of value, I'm just not clear as to what Bitcoin's meme becomes at that point.
Exactly. Yeah. I still think it will be a store of value if that happens, but maybe not as safe as, the maxis say it is.
Right.
It's not just going to plummet,
Yeah.
It has a lot of money involved. There's a lot of big players, banks now in it. They're not going to let that happen.
Right. But like you said, I think maybe it starts to open people's eyes up towards what the actual utility is of these things. And they start looking beyond speculation. Beyond
exactly
as a speculative asset.
That's why I'm so mind blown that Monero is where it is still. Monero to me is the most useful cryptocurrency of all, and it's kind of like obvious. Like I just don't get how it's been very stagnant with the price.
Because you could buy Shiba Inu, man. You could get $1 million for like $1 and you'll become a millionaire.
Yeah. That is like.
So unfortunately, I think we're gonna have to see more crash. That's gonna open people's eyes, and they'll start to actually evaluate these things based on utility. What's the next one we got there?
The EU wants to prohibit all private wallets.
Oh, somebody had posted that on Reddit. EU wants to prohibit all private wallets. You want to open up that link?
See, stuff like that doesn't make sense to me. How could you even implement that?
Yeah, it looks like they're just you're moving closer towards following the general regulations that the Financial Action Task Force has been proposing. And it looks like the EU is just getting closer towards potentially implementing some of these things. So keep your eye on that. I just saw it posted on Reddit this morning. I don't know what steps have actually taken place, but it's more about implementing these regulations that we've been hearing a lot about, but it looks like it's coming to fruition. What that means for Monero, we shall see. Obviously here we always say it doesn't really matter, right? Monero's built to be resistant to regulations. It's a technology that's unstoppable. But it's interesting to see Europe continue to creep forward in that respect, implementing things like the travel rule and how that could essentially start to affect a crypto like Monero, where they can't track and trace it. If they're going to want to, keep their eye on exchanges and then force exchanges to provide customer information whenever somebody sends crypto off of an exchange, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But there's been development there. Do we have any other news items?
Yeah.
Oh, Vic came on Monero Talk. So obviously, big cake news this week. Mike, what do you think of that? The 3 wallet proposal that Cake has come up with. So the news started this week that Cake was going to be implementing Zcash into Cake. They got some pushback from the community, and then by the end of the week, it turned into the announcement being that Cake is going to essentially create 3 separate wallets. There's going to be a traditional Cake wallet, which is kind of this multi-coin privacy-focused wallet, what we're all currently using today. Then they're going to be building a separate Zcash wallet and a separate Monero-only wallet. Mike, what's your take on that?
Yeah, I think that's the best move. I see why most people were upset with that move. I'm obviously not a fan of Zcash, and I think the people that got upset were kind of mad because the Monero community kind of helped Cake get to be Cake, But I think that Vic is handling it well, like you said, and I'm glad that he's decided to do this. I'll probably use the Monero only wallet, but it's nice to have options for other stuff too. I would actually like to see them implement Ethereum and WoW and a couple other coins into the wallet that has all the coins, just for easier use.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's all good things. It's nice to see that Cake and Vic in particular just continue to listen to community feedback.
Exactly. Seems like he's done that from the beginning.
Exactly. He could have easily just ignored it and been like, guys, this is what we're doing. But he's catering to the Monero community, and hopefully the Monero community will continue to use Cake. I think the fact that they're making the Monero only wallet's extremely solid. If not them, somebody else would have stepped up and did it. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
So thank you, Cake.
Thank you.
I think we have maybe one other.
Yeah, you have 2 other. It's just loading. It's okay.
What was this one?
Billionaire investor Charlie Munger thinks China was right to ban Bitcoin.
Of course he was.
It's another one of these, old guys yelling at Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Pretty wild, though, that he thought China was right to ban Bitcoin. I mean, that's pretty aggressive coming.
Well, because it threatens everything he's used to. He's used to the old style money system. He wants that. They know that this is scary for them, just the way that cryptocurrency is headed.
Sure. Yeah.
It takes away from their wealth. I mean, these guys are, next level wealthy.
Yeah, he doesn't stand to benefit from the rise.
No, he could buy out multiple cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, he should have just got involved, man. I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know what he was thinking. These guys just don't get it. But pretty wild that he's like saying China was right in what they did. I mean, this is, a guy who built or helped build this extremely successful investment company in America. And then to like kind of align with China on this, I mean, I think it's a bad look for him.
Oh, for sure.
He went a little too far, not even just being the anti-Bitcoin, but like by basically saying China did the right thing by straight up banning crypto.
But is it even banned there? It gets banned there like every other week.
Yeah, I think it's currently in ban state. I don't know. But the last ban was pretty wild. I mean, like we said, we saw that drop in the mining.
Yeah, but I thought that was just miners, no? All the ASICs? Or was that Bitcoin just across the board?
What do you mean? Yeah, no, that was when they most recently banned crypto in China and tried to ban the mining. We saw.
Yeah, I know the mining. I didn't know that they went with the actual trying to ban Bitcoin itself.
I think they banned the mining. I think they did. I think they banned the exchanges and everything. Right? I think it's illegal. Wow. It's legal to own crypto. My understanding is like it's legal to own it. It's legal to own Bitcoin. But I think it's just the exchanges and the mining. It's not entirely clear, right? We never know what's going over there. But yeah, it's.
But I do think that's one of the great things about RandomX. Something like that could never happen. You can't find those ASIC farms with RandomX. You can't just shut it down 100%. Like they did to Bitcoin.
Yep.
Very easy to isolate those farms.
Yeah, it's coming, guys. I mean, and Monero's built to withstand it, so that's nice to see. Did I have?
Yeah, you had one more Monero King tweet.
I see a lot of. This is from this morning with the crash, with the price crashing. I see a lot of people tweeting 1 BTC equals 1 BTC. Well, not always the case. So yeah, it's kind of funny. All the Bitcoiners now tweeting 1 BTC always equals 1 BTC as they see the price crash. But we don't necessarily believe that here in Monero land. 1 BTC does not equal 1 BTC. That's the problem.
Yeah.
1 Monero does equal 1 Monero. So,
exactly.
Bitcoiners refuse to believe that.
Yeah, and that type of thinking kind of blows my mind with the Bitcoin maximalists. It's like this information's out there. There's blocked Bitcoin. I mean, what about the Bitcoin that was hacked from all the Twitter accounts? Like that got traced and blocked immediately, blacklisted. For them to say that 1 equals 1 and not realize it still is kind of wild. I think that they just kind of stay in their echo chamber and block out any other news that could threaten them.
Yeah, I think some of them like literally just aren't aware of it, which blows my mind. Like they.
You still think so though? I mean, with all the information and.
Yeah, I think there are. Those that are just they're buying their crypto. Yeah, there are a lot of people that still like don't get it. And then there are those that are just in denial of it. And then there are those that actually just truly think that 1 Bitcoin equals 1 Bitcoin, despite the fact that it clearly does have a history. And I don't really get the logical reasoning they have.
Yeah.
They've tried to convince me. I just don't get it. Like, no, they're not. They're different. They're not. I guess ultimately it comes down to, well, it doesn't matter. They don't think it matters.
Well, it certainly does. But to each their own.
Right. If fungibility doesn't matter, then why, does censorship resistance matter? Like, where do we draw the line then? Right.
Exactly. And that kind of goes to those news articles you pulled up, like EU tries implementing stuff like that. It shouldn't matter. The whole point behind Bitcoin that got me attracted into cryptocurrency in the beginning was that it's opting out of the system, right? Like that was supposed to be the whole point. So if they can just come out with rules and regulations to stop it, it's not really what it was meant to be.
Exactly. Yeah. You see Bitcoiners whining sometimes about the chain analytics companies. Like, why do they exist? Mm-hmm. It's like, well, you shouldn't care that they exist because your crypto, your technology should be immune to them.
Exactly.
To do. All right. So that was our news this week. Should we bring up anybody that wants to jump on stage? Yeah. We have 24 people watching right now live.
Ooh.
Anybody wants to jump up?
It's the Viewers on Stage segment. It's that time where we invite you, the viewers, up on stage to comment on anything you've heard so far today, ask the guest a question, or maybe talk about one of the news topics. Come on down.
All right.
Oh, it's too funny, not going to lie.
We got some people.
Yeah,
we got Justin.
We got Justin.
Is
How's
that
it
Justin?
going?
Is that the Justin that we know? Who is
I
this?
don't know.
Of course it is.
Oh,
but
All
yeah,
right.
What's up, Justin?
I think that's the first time I've actually seen you play that little segment for the transition. I think it's hilarious.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We tried to make it cheesy and funny as possible.
We like our segments.
Yes, very cheesy, but cool.
We'll create a separate Justin segment if you agree to come on every week.
Oof, that'd be a big commitment, but I appreciate the vote of confidence.
What's going on, man? Thanks for coming up.
I actually I'm gonna leak something real quick, if that's okay.
Ooh.
So
Please do.
the last few months I've been working really hard on making a magic Monero fund, and I believe later today is actually when we will announce it on Reddit. So I'm really excited about that. It'll provide a better way to fund like continuous Monero Research Lab research and security audits and all sorts of fun stuff like that. So I'm really excited. Keep an eye out for Reddit because
Awesome.
I expect to post it later today.
So wait, explain that a little bit more. So people that are just kind of learning about this. So how is that different than using this CCS? Why is this a good thing for Monero?
Sure. So the Monero CCS is not going away, as far as I understand. I mean, that's up to the Monero core team to run. So this by no means replaces anything. It's just some additional option that people have. The CCS is really cool because it's decentralized. You can just, I guess it's not decentralized, sorry, but it allows people to show up. It's Monero first. Anyone can create a proposal. The community sort of gives suggestions on when it moves. And, amounts are still paid in XMR, and people don't need to provide any details to the CCS to get that running. But with that comes some downsides, primarily being that you have to commit to receive some amount of XMR in the future that will be whatever price it will be. You need to receive payment in XMR. The CCS itself can't really sign a contract with somebody to actually deliver the funds. So it gets a little bit more complicated in the traditional world. So Magic Grants is a 501c3 US nonprofit. We can still accept funds very, very easily. We're not an exchange, so we don't need to KYC everyone who donates us money. So we can receive funds pretty generously. And we can actually sign contracts with people in order to say, hey, once you deliver this work, we will give you this amount of money, and we can still pay it in Monero. We can still pay it in US dollars, whatever makes sense. We used Magic Grants to actually help cover some of the DEF CON cryptocurrency village costs this year, just to make it a lot easier for the overhead. And the big change now is that we are actually going to have a community elected committee. So community members in the Monero community can nominate themselves, say, hey, I've been an active member and a positive contributor to the community. I would like a vote. We'll process all those applications. We'll give people voting rights, so to speak. It won't cost anything. You don't have to do any KYC or anything for voting rights. All you need is an email. And then the voters will elect a committee, and this committee can determine what grants to fund from the fund, subject to the legal limits of what we can fund, but it's pretty generous. And then also they can even choose to invest their assets. So they can, in theory, I mean, again, maybe this would be a good idea, but in theory, they could use the assets that they have and use it to provide Monero liquidity somewhere or something like that. So the money isn't just sitting in a pool or sitting in USD or something. It could be actively giving back. So I think it's something I've been very, very excited about. There's been talk for many, many years at this point about making a separate Monero fund for Monero Research Lab, and this is a way that we can do that finally.
Awesome. So people would apply for the grant. How does that work?
Yeah, people would apply for the grants. They effectively go to the committee. The committee can, in theory, make whatever rules they want for people to show up and or any processes they want for people to show up and make a grant proposal. But yeah, ultimately people will be like, hey, I want to work on this. It'll look similarly to submitting a CCS grant proposal, except instead of to the CCS, they're submitting it to the fund committee. The fund committee will review it. They'll do a little bit of paperwork. to be like, yep, this looks good. And then we can proceed to say, okay, well, it was accepted, and here's your contract. If you complete the grant, then we'll pay you as described. And again, we can pay in XMR, we can pay in Bitcoin, we can pay in US dollar. You know, we can pay in pretty much anything.
Awesome. Very cool, man. And so where's the money coming from that's funding Magic?
Sure. So we've talked to a few people ahead of time to, as we've set this up, to say, hey, would be willing to donate. So we have a few people that are definitely interested in getting this started. So ultimately, it will still come from the Monero community in getting this forward. And I know, like, things in the past, Kraken, for example, has indicated that they want to give to Monero based projects, but they don't really want to fund individual contributors. They don't want to go the whole route of effectively running a grant proposal website themselves for the Monero community. So this, I hope, is a good way for them to direct money to some organization like ourselves, and then the community can still decide where these funds go, just through a more formal process where Kraken just sends the money to one place and feels good about it. They do their whole lovely press release and everything. And then the Monero community largely gets to decide where this money still goes. And everyone's happy. Kraken gets their tax deduction. The Monero community still gets all the cool stuff funded. And I think it's a good additional tool belt for fundraising that the Monero community will have now more regularly.
Awesome. Sounds good to me. Anhdres, what's going on?
Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Super
Any
nice.
comments there on Justin's announcement?
Well, everybody knows that we went around route to fund, to get funded the Cytic projects and all that, with mixed results. But I think it's great to have as many possibilities and different ways to get work funded in Monero land. The CCS is great for some things because it's better use cases, and it's not like the magic super decentralized tool that is thought to be. And I think that, as Justin said, that if you get more like if it's about an avenue for funding that has to be more like in the white, so to speak, from big if you get funding for some from companies, stuff like that maybe they cannot do it through the regular Monero private way, and that is great.
Mike, you got any comment on it?
I definitely think it's interesting. Glad to have more ways to get stuff funded. It's going to be nice to see it. By the way, nice to meet you, Anhdres.
Nice,
Good.
Almost meeting you.
I know. My camera wasn't working, man. But it's good to put a face to the account.
Yes. If it wasn't for customs, we were already using a Monero miner made by Mike.
See, much love. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you already are using one, you said?
No, he lives overseas, correct?
Oh, if it wasn't for customs. Yeah.
Yes. It's almost like it costs almost double to get the
shipping too much. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, Justin, anything else you want to bring up?
Nope. That's a big focus of what I worked on. You had Vic on earlier, so he covered all the cake wallet stuff. But
yeah.
Cool stuff.
Whoa, we're getting some feedback there. Yeah, we like the final resolution there with the Monero only wallet. What's your take on the whole thing, Justin, with what went down?
I guess the one thing I'd like to share is just how much the Monero community feedback mattered to Vic in all the discussions that we've had. Like, he would be just interrupting conversations in the middle of the day and be like, "Look at this one comment from this one Redditor on this thread." Like, he genuinely cares about community feedback on Cake Wallet, and I think it shows in our decision to release the Monero only wallet ASAP. I mean, it was one thing as he said, is something that we've been tossing around for a long while. But getting that out ASAP now is really his top priority.
Did you guys expect the Monero community to be so up in arms when you made the initial announcement with Zcash?
I mean, as he said, I think we expected some sort of pushback. That said, we're not going to deliver Zcash for a while, just because their network upgrade 5 isn't even it hasn't launched, right? So it's not like tomorrow it's going to be in cake. So we made the grant proposal in advance, and I suppose we expected a little bit more time. But that said, clearly you'll have a Monero only wallet before anything happens. And that was always the intent, but this is especially clear now.
All right, yeah, I'm not complaining about the end results here. Who else?
We have aFungible.
aFungible.
Hello again. Do you have any comments? Hello? We can't hear you.
I think you're just chilling.
Yeah, I just wanted to drop in. Yeah, I'm just listening to you folks. Maybe I will have something to say in a bit.
Okay.
Justin, one of the things I was pushing Vic on, he wasn't too sure about it. I think I'd heard it discussed elsewhere. It's just this fact that Zcash, are they truly open source or not? I'm having a hard time understanding that. My understanding is with the latest developments that they'll be issuing with their upgrade are essentially going to be closed for 2 years. There won't be access to the actual code. Is that correct?
So the code itself is available. So anybody can take the code, anybody can look at the code, anybody can review the code. So from that sense, it is open source. The difference is it's not liberally licensed like Monero. So you could not take the code and plop it into Monero until it's like a year. I think it's a year, maybe it's 2 years, whatever it is. There's a time frame before other people can actually get a license to use it for whatever they want. In the meantime, in theory, you could talk to the ECC and get a license early. I have no idea what their appetite for that would be, but since they put the restriction, it's probably pretty low. But it at least is the case that anybody can look at the code and sort of see how it works. That's possible.
Why do you think they just did it for the obvious reasons, just to give themselves an advantage, or is there something?
I can't obviously speak for them, and I think that this is a weird move. Don't get me wrong. It's not something the Zcash community even initially asked for. It's just something the ECC sort of said, we're going to do this. And everyone, there was confusion in their own community for a while on this same point. So I think it's probably just aiding in the competitive advantage of Zcash in their view. And maybe it's directed at Pirate Chain. I don't really know, but it's a little weird, especially from a Monero ethos perspective. It's a little bit weird, but everybody can look at all the researchers can still look at the code and tinker with it. They just can't use it for something that they don't have a license for.
Got it. Anybody have any comment on that? I personally find that a bit odd. Andreas, you got any comment on that?
Yeah, I would change all for ugly, but that's me. We are very used in the Monero community to have everything that is open source, and not only open source in a way that you can check it and see how it's made, but also you can use it and make new stuff on top of that. And that's the way it should be. But I'm not here to bashing Zcash. I for what I know, it's technically very good, but the whole thing about it's basically a company which issues a coin. So it's expected from a company to do moves like this, to have to take care of their code and the way it's used, and to take care of their advantages while they can. So it makes sense. I mean, don't expect that much more from a company.
Good points. Good points. We got
We got
somebody
a new
new
person
here.
Yeah, the AnarchistDuarte. Hello. You want to say hello? Oh, you're muted. I mean, I'll unmute you. Hold on, because it looks like you're busy driving.
Oh,
Hi.
okay. Good now?
Oh, look
Yes,
down!
How you
yeah.
doing?
I know.
Keep
Don't look
your
down.
eye on the
Keep
road,
your eyes
man.
on the road, please.
Hey,
You're live. You have anything to
I
say?
have a question for Mike.
Yeah, what's going on, man?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. What you as a miner? What is support XMR a good tool to mine?
No, too big. You want to get off that for sure.
I'm putting off too much.
What's up?
Can you hear us?
Did you hear my question?
Yes, I did. I did.
No, now, yes.
Yeah, I would say no. You don't want to use that. It's too big, very
Oh, no?
centralized. Yeah, they have a high payout rate too, so you'd have to mine for a while compared to others.
Okay. What's the best pool? I know you mentioned before. I can't recall now, but you mentioned before where you were mining. Is that the very most decentralized one to mine?
Well, it's a smaller one, right? So you kind of want to just split it up. I use CryptoNote Social. There's a lot of good ones. There's one called Monero Ocean, very good. P2P, like they were talking about, another good option. You just don't want to use those really big ones. Want to help decentralize the network.
Wow, it's cutting off too much. I don't know why.
We can hear. Well, we can hear you. Yeah. Hello?
Yeah, he's got a bad
Yeah.
connection. We're gonna have to mute you, I think, man. But we appreciate it. Jump on anytime. Jump on when you get a better
I can't even mute his
connection
mic,
here.
actually.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there you go now. Okay. I muted you.
Mike, you just want to repeat the
Yeah.
advice?
So you can listen to it in the podcast.
Yeah, can you hear me? Just give me a head nod if you can hear us. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, so you don't want to use support XMR. It's too big. You want to split it up a little bit. CryptoNote Social, very good one that I use. There's another one called Monero Ocean, very good. And then also P2P, like they were talking about, is another good option. But definitely you don't want to use the big ones.
All right.
Okay.
Cool. Join anytime, man. Just
Please be careful.
when you have a better connection. Just keep your eyes on the
Just
road.
keep your eyes on the road or park, maybe.
You need to make a rule that if you are driving, you cannot get into Monerotopia.
I
or
know.
something like that.
That's the next thing we'll be responsible for.
Yes.
Thinking about.
You don't want any more drama.
Yes, exactly.
We'll accidentally run over
I
Chris
know.
Sky as he's driving down the road.
Well, that would pretty much even things out, but
Yeah. Oh, will it now?
So what ended up happening with all that is who's coming to the show? Is Howard coming?
Howard is currently not attending. So our
Not
current
attending.
guests are Francisco,
Okay.
VT Nerd,
Lee Claggett.
Lee
Yeah.
Claggett. We have Elizabeth, the one that's working on the Ethereum to XMR swap.
Nice.
Then we have a bunch more that
Oh, we
we're
have
working
Crypto
on.
Bear
We're gonna have-
performing.
yeah,
I mean, that's
Crypto
just
Oh,
Bear.
you convinced them?
Yeah,
Oh,
he's gonna.
Crypto Bear's
I'm excited
performing.
about that.
But yeah, Howard is currently out. Who knows? He might jump back in. Daniel Kim is currently out, as the ones that were originally on. But he may jump back in as well. So we
Stay
shall
tuned.
see.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I said, we got a lot of other really good ones that we're
Say
talking
so.
to. It's going to be all very Monero focused.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, I guess we're already an hour and 8 minutes in.
Yeah, we'll cap this off. You guys, anything else you guys want to bring
Any
up?
last words
Those that
or
are on
I-
stage.
Yeah, I have something that I want to bring up.
Sure.
Yeah, so I was recently listening to this talk from ArcticMine, which was, I think, released yesterday with Monerotopia. It was like a
Mhm.
2 hour talk. It was very interesting. One of the precarious things that I got to know, I think ArcticMine had given an example, is about, I think, Monero team is doing something with the EU regulators, like uh, communicating with them about the regulations going forward. So there was a very interesting example given by ArcticMine. Maybe I can just quote that. So he's, I think, was talking to the regulators, and he gave this example that, let's say, a couple is driving to a toll station, and they pay the people at the toll with Bitcoin, and it just happens that they drive away, and the toll station is compromised by some thieves, and they ask for the private keys. So they don't ask for the Bitcoin to be transferred to their wallet, but they just basically ask their private keys. So it's everything is offline,
Off chain.
and yeah, off chain. And those private keys are sold to a terrorist, for instance. And the terrorist purchases online to do some nefarious activities, and the transaction is eventually traced back to the couples who are driving away. They're caught, they're put in prison. So basically, it essentially meant that the couple gave the terrorists the funds to buy. And this is like an example. This is like a situation. This is a very precarious situation in which it's difficult for the couples to prove that this is that there was something in the middle. That is, toll station was in the middle, and the blockchain analytics firms don't want to consider this. So they're always tracing the transactions, because as Bitcoin is not fungible, so there is always a transaction history. So they keep on seeing this, like, how many hops has this transaction covered? Has it covered 2 hops or 3 hops? And they can trace it back to the source. And this is a very interesting situation, but also a bit scary. So anybody has some comments on that?
I mean, yeah, I've heard Arctic talk about this quite a bit. I mean, this is why we're pro Monero, man. So I think Monero solves that problem because you won't even have the ability to track and trace there, so you can't even make those assumptions of a coin going from, this is the whole fungibility issue. This is the whole fungibility issue.
Yeah, indeed it is. But this is like the blockchain analytics firms are tied up to the government, and they're not going away anytime soon because they have a business. I mean, it's also it's an established business now. So
Yeah,
yeah,
they're lobbying the regulators, and they're getting work from the centralized exchanges. Yeah, so I mean, it's going to continue to trend in that direction. You're basically saying, what do we do as a Monero community, or what should our response be?
No, I mean, I just wanted to get some thoughts that what happens if, because this is something that I see coming, and this will happen more and more, and innocent people will be, somewhat at risk while using something like Bitcoin.
Yeah, no, I think it's one of the arguments for why we need to move towards fungible money. So, like, that's not even an issue. And just think of all the inefficiencies that come with it too, right?
Yeah,
the fact that it can be tracked and traced, people can be falsely accused of things. It's gonna be a mess. It'd be like with every time you received cash, you had to worry about where it came from, which is obviously not the case.
Yeah. So this was like just an example that I found interesting. So just wanted to share. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, no, I've heard Arctic make, it's a good one. Yeah, appreciate bringing that up. And anybody who hasn't heard Arctic yet, we've done a few interviews with them. The Monero Mateo one that he just did. Yeah, definitely check that out. I was just watching some of that this morning. Arctic will be speaking at the conference too, by the way. But yeah, no, Arctic has brought that up quite a few times. Yeah, it's a good point. It's I don't know what the response really is. This is why we love Monero, because it just tracking and tracing, chain analytics just doesn't exist for Monero. Gets rid of all that. Obviously, the chain analytics companies want to exist, and they're going to continue to lobby regulators, and they're going to continue to make progress. But Monero is not going anywhere, so we'll be waiting in the wings for when people want to actually use fungible cash. Anybody else want to comment on it?
Yeah, I think it's. I don't think we have to worry about stuff like that. I think we're just ahead of the curve. I think more and more people are going to kind of experience shitty situations like that, and that's going to turn them off to Bitcoin and public blockchains, and they're going to look for alternatives. I mean, I think it's inevitable. I think it happens to everybody that actually uses cryptocurrency. You know, if you buy it on PayPal and stuff, you might never get to experience that. But if you actually use it and, you know, see what you can see on a blockchain, people are going to move off of it. And especially if they're getting falsely acclaimed or falsely accused of, you know, crimes they didn't commit or whatever the case may be, they'll look for better money.
Right. They start getting involved in investigations that, you know, they're like, what?
Yeah, they have nothing to do with.
Nothing to do with this. Yeah, start getting letters from the authorities, or, you know, they go to send their Bitcoin onto an exchange for the first time, and the exchange basically doesn't allow them to send their crypto there because of the history it has. There's going to be tons of these incidents. We're already seeing them. I guess what we're all shocked by is the fact that it's just not resonating yet, given all of this.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. How hasn't people jumped sooner?
Right. People are still ignoring all these things. It's not, these aren't even hypotheticals anymore. It's actually happening. It's happening to people. And yet people are still ignoring it. It's just going to take time. It takes time for people to actually, it has to really hurt them for them to start to respond. So unfortunately, that's just the way it's going to go.
I really hope that we don't need, that we are not going to need like very bad news about people getting really in trouble or in danger because of using transparent coins like Bitcoin in this regard. I know that Jameson Loop already collects like a list of news articles of people that got mugged or something like that for their crypto, but I think as the crypto markets keeps getting bigger and bigger, it's a danger that's going to get bigger as well. So I hope it doesn't take that many casualties, so to speak, for people to start taking Monero into account, not only because it rises in price or something like that, just because it's safer to hold. You're just one step from screwing up a transaction and revealing to somebody that you don't want to reveal how much money you have.
Yep. Good points. Yeah, I think, we have our own little echo chamber, right? And that's us here in Monero land. So what it's going to take to open up people's eyes outside, I do not know, man. I would have thought their eyes would have already been opening. So I'm not the right guy to make this prediction. I would think people's eyes would already be opening. But I mean, the greed, it all comes down to the greed. We spoke about this. And that's,
yeah, for sure.
Bitcoin does it really well. They just get people excited about the price. So they don't really, they have blinders on. They're just looking to see if numbers going up.
And for me, if somebody really argues against the number go up thing, they don't really understand how cryptocurrencies are supposed to work. It's a part of the equation. I mean, I don't mean that the number has to always go up, and I'm not saying that it's the most important thing, but it's part of the incentives, it's part of the thing that keeps the thing working. I mean, if you don't have value locked in, it's not going to work. The decentralization doesn't work. It all breaks down. So it is important.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah, these people that say, Monero works just as well as $1 than it does at, $1 million. No. The higher the price, the more impactful the network will be. You could transfer more value through it. The network itself becomes more robust and stronger and harder to stop. yeah, 100%. You can't take.
It looks nice, you know. It looks pretty to say so, because I know it's easy to just say, price doesn't matter, but yeah, it does matter. It does matter. It's part of the great. It's just like saying hashing power doesn't matter. Yeah, it does. If you got everything else, but just one thing breaks down, everything breaks down. So
Right.
it's important.
Yeah, and especially with Monero, I mean, the entire ecosystem grows as the price goes up. More people look at it, more people get involved. There's more capital around to invest in projects. I think where Bitcoin went wrong or is going wrong is it's the only thing they care about. And that's why we're saying, like, what's going to happen now if something like Ethereum eventually does pass a Bitcoin? Does that start to eat away at Bitcoin's value proposition as being digital gold? That'll be interesting to see. But yeah, so Bitcoin just went, I think, too far with that meme, but it works for them, and it works for getting people into crypto in general.
Yeah.
But then eventually it will take time, and they'll realize there's actual utility out there, and there's more than just price speculation.
The only way that I see it working in the long run is, I don't remember the name of the guy that you interviewed in Monero Talk once, that was a big Bitcoin maximalist. And basically his whole argument was, it doesn't matter because Bitcoin is going to win and Bitcoin is going to infinite in USD terms, and governments are not going to exist anymore. Basically.
Right. Yeah.
And I give him that. I mean, if you're right about that, you won, because fungibility doesn't matter. No, but not joking. Yeah, it really doesn't matter, because there's nobody around to force that on you or to control anything. And Bitcoin won. But everything in between is it doesn't work. It's just playing.
Right, to say you don't have to worry about any of that stuff, because it's making a tremendous assumption that your technology is capable of getting to that point.
Yeah.
But it has this weakness that's going to make it difficult to get to that point, because it's easier for governments to control a crypto that's completely traceable, and that's going to be a problem for Bitcoin.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to point out, like on a side note, this is something not related to the topic we're discussing, but recently I had requested from Coinbase. I also had posted in cryptocurrency, but the post was taken down after it went a bit viral. I requested from a KYC exchange like Coinbase, dump of all the private data, all the transactions and everything that happened in the last few years I was there. And I was a bit amazed and surprised and shocked about the kind of data that these exchanges, that these know your customer exchanges collect from people. So I actually really encourage all the viewers to go and request the KYC exchange that they have been on. I mean, some people have been there for like 6 months. Maybe there isn't too much data collected, but probably some people are there for years, and they will be really in for a surprise for the amount of data that they collect. So they would be, as per compliance, they are supposed to send you all the, let's say, all the KYC identity images that you have submitted, all the bills, receipts, whatever you had submitted, all the failed attempts while doing KYC, and they give you a dump of a text file, which is, let's say, 2 or 3 MB, with all the data, all the wallet addresses, all the transactions ever sent and received. I mean, it is, and in fact, even including all the IP addresses logged, geotags, the longitude and latitude that you have logged on. And even if you were using, let's say, another email address, that was a bit surprising, that if you were using another email address and you were, just logged into Coinbase or some other exchange, and they also log that because there are cookies active around which are, snooping, and it's really crazy. And if this, and the funniest part was they sent me the zip file unencrypted without any password protection from their customer service. So I'm really like worried, not just about, I mean, me is okay, but for other people, what if there is a data breach in the future and this data goes out? I think it can be quite stressful to a lot of people, because it's like identity theft.
Right. Yeah, that'll be a wake-up call as well. I see somebody's commenting, I'm a little bit worried once the tail emission from Monero kicks in, that is going to take place in many. I don't know. Yeah, shouldn't be any concern about Monero's tail emission. Not sure what the concern is. I mean, that's something people don't realize too. Just supply. I mean, there's currently less Monero than Bitcoin, and my understanding is there'll be less. What, up to like 2040 or something? Do you guys know what that year number is when we actually start to pass Bitcoin in terms of amount of Monero on the market?
I think it's 2040. Yes.
Yeah, around 2040. So that's kind of people see tail emission, they instantly think there's just like an infinite amount of Monero. It's not like that, guys. Less Monero than Bitcoin, and there will be up until 2040. So
yes,
and then it just continues to leach out slowly over time.
I'd rather be worried by that very small fixed amount of tail emission than being worried about who is going to secure the network after the mission stops.
Yeah, I think that's the way I look at it as well. Obviously, I think it's an intelligent way of looking at things, especially if you care about the security of the network, which I think you should. It should be a top priority.
This is like the Monero Maxis competition.
I know. Complain about the Maxis, but
I'm definitely a Maxi.
We have a few here in the room.
What are his other? He's throwing out a lot of comments here. Yeah, you should have jumped up on stage, man. Federico. CBDCs, yeah, I think things like CBDCs will push people into Monero. That's a good point. We've had that conversation on here before. That's going to happen. We're going to see that. See CBDCs. China's already working on it. They're basically it's already. I think they're already testing it, right? It's going to happen. It's going to happen here too. Things like that, I think, will open people's eyes to Monero 100%. That's going to be one of those turning points. Guys, I'm ready to wrap it up.
Yep. Let's do that.
I just have a quick announcement. Very short announcement.
Drum roll.
Yes. No, small announcement, but the first feature that we got funded via the funding.monerotopia.app website, which was the support for Onion nodes. Monerotopia already worked over Tor with Orbot on Android, but it was missing the possibility for you to connect to nodes that were on Tor, right? Before that, you just routing the traffic through Tor, but connecting to regular nodes. And now it got funded, and we are working on it. And it's working. It's working. We are testing it out. So expect it to be released very, very, very soon.
That's awesome to hear.
Awesome.
It's crazy because it actually works. It actually works. You can connect. I know that Mike here has some issues with Tor. I'm just letting people know Tor works like crap. I mean, it's very slow.
Yeah, it's just slow, right? For something like this. Yeah, it's not ideal to do a live call. That's kind of why I jumped off of it. I love it though, but not for stuff like this. That's why I saw your tweet the other day, and I thought that was pretty cool. You're like my nodes syncing to over Tor while I'm picking up my daughter.
Yeah, totally. It was totally right. I was trying to. It was actually that was the case. I was trying it out on a version that worked even worse than the one that we have now. So this works better. And it took so long that I just had to take the keys from school. So I just put it in my pocket, went there, and when I finished, it was like, yeah, it synced. It worked. So it actually works.
Do you have an ETA on that? Or any idea?
Very, very soon, like in a matter of... No, really soon. I don't know if it's today, tomorrow, or in 3 days, but it's basically almost done.
Glad to hear. How fast does the F-Droid repo update compared to the Android version? Is it the same?
Yeah, supposedly we just release everything at the same time.
Cool.
And of course it's going to be in the beta channel in the beginning, so can people try it out and don't panic if they see something changing.
Awesome. Look forward to that.
Awesome, man.
Faster. I have more news. M2049er says faster. So, I think he means like sooner than 3 days.
How about
Perfect.
Sidekick? Did you guys get? Are you close to getting full funding there? What's going on with
Yeah, we are looking for a couple of ways to fund this thing if they want to. But the thing with Sidekick is, 1, it's great. 2, it works. Right? So it's not vaporware or something. We know it works. We tried it out. It looks like shit. There's a lot of things to iron out, but we managed to make it work. So the proof of concept is there. It's already made. But it really takes a lot. It's going to take a lot of time, especially hours of coding. That's why the funding is there.
Okay.
People in the Monerotopia in the Monerotopia group has other jobs to take care of their families as well. So if you want us to take a couple of months out of work and work on this, that's the thing that's going to take.
Guys,
otherwise, we are just working on the things that got funded first. The next one that already got funded, I think, was Onion support, and the other one was the support for the Monero seeds with the extra offset passphrase, the extra word, which is cool. I think Feather Wallet uses that already, which means that if you create a new wallet and you can get one of the new seeds, that seed has an extra word that features the block height. So when you restore it again, you don't have to remember which time you created it, or perhaps you enter a date that is wrong, that is too new, and you don't see some transactions appearing in your wallet and you think your money is lost or something. So that is very useful. That's
a good feature. Is the Sidekick feature the hardware wallet on the phone?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a semi-hardware wallet on an Android phone.
Yeah,
and
like
that should work. I mean, from the wallet's perspective, from the Monerotopia side, it looks just like a ledger. So any other wallet that want to integrate that after we make it work can do so. Of course, everything is open source, and you can even copy the whole thing, but it should be interoperable with other wallets. It just looks like a ledger from the wallet side.
Look forward to it.
Yep, excited to see that. Everybody, thank you. Andreas, thank you for jumping on.
Thank you.
Mike, thank you for jumping on. I'll follow up with you. Let's.
Yeah. Appreciate talking to you guys.
Monero
Andreas,
miner.
Appreciate meeting you, man.
I'm gonna order that Monero miner from you, Mike. We'll
talk.
aFungible, man. Thank you for the price report this week, and thanks for joining in on the general discussion.
Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate it. My pleasure.
All right, guys. I see one. Chris made one last count. CBDC is already up and running in Guadalajara province of Mexico. Wow. Okay.
They're
already testing them there. I know they're popping up elsewhere all around the world. They're being tested. Yeah, guys, it's gonna happen.
Thank you guys for joining us, everyone that tuned in. And I guess we'll see you next week. Make sure to get your tickets before the price goes up. Monerotopia.com. And thank you guys.
Ciao. Have a good weekend.
Have a good weekend.
Thanks, guys. Take it easy.
Thanks.